as a cult deprogrammer in the book, because as you have covered on this show, we are there with millions of our fellow citizens. And I tried to learn from them what the pro-democracy movement can do, starting right now, to beat back the authoritarian menace, to save American democracy.
Imagine going through life thinking that half of the people in America are actually members of a cult. And then missing out on the irony that you're saying that on MSNBC to Joe and Mika talk about a cult. You have to see this entire clip in its glorious entirety. Here it is.
There is right now an anti-democracy side and a pro-democracy side in American life. It's very simple. It's not about party ID at this point. It is about whether you are for continued and expanded liberal democracy or not. And the pro-democracy side is hamstrung by a belief that simply doing the right thing and standing for the right thing in its imagination is self-explanatory. That people will gravitate to you if you're doing the right thing on Ukraine or doing the right thing for inflation or doing the right thing in policy as you see it. And the argument of the persuaders is that, in fact, the pro-democracy side right now is not winning. And it's not just not winning because of rigging and big lies, as Jonathan has covered, and voter suppression and, state election officials who toy with things, although that is very real and very dangerous and serious.
Yes.
I don't think if you look at these polls, you're just asking people on the street. It is a dead heat between democracy and fascism. And so I set out in The Persuaders to ask why. I got tired of despairing watching this show and all the excellent coverage of this descent towards fascism and authoritarianism. And why is this happening? And why are we relegated to despairing about it? And I got tired of my own despair and decided to spend the last couple years reporting on people who are showing another way, particularly organizers working on the ground in communities across this country outside the limelight, activists, political leaders, scientists. As a cult deprogrammer in the book, because as you have covered on this show, we are there with millions of our fellow citizens. And I tried to learn from them what the pro-democracy movement can do, starting right now, to beat back the authoritarian menace, to save American democracy, and realize the future of nice things that we all deserve.
Okay, Mr. Heat Miser, seriously. Epic hair, my dude. Fantastic. But first of all, of course, everyone's screaming at the video right now saying we're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. We use a democratic process to choose our representatives. All right. And secondly, don't you dare have this conversation without referencing Stacey Abrams. You know her. She's got a gap in her teeth, just like you do, Mr. Heat Miser. Come on. She's denied her loss for years now. She continues to do so, but somehow made millions doing it. It's ridiculous. And anytime a state official, as you referenced, actually wants to put some protocols in place to secure our elections so that we're actually secure in our democratic process instead of wondering if we really won or lost that last election, you call them, as you just did, cult members and fascists. Forget about it. Let's go back to Stacey Abrams, Georgia, for just a quick moment, because just yesterday they had their first day of early voting before these midterms, and it was a record breaker. Huge turnout in Jim Crow, Georgia. Please.